Hey guys, today is February 17th, 2020. Yesterday, the NBA held its annual All-Star Game. This, of course, was the first All-Star Game since the death of Kobe Bryant. And the NBA has gone to great lengths to make this game significantly about Kobe Bryant. So much so, in fact, that they've renamed the game's MVP award. Previously, just the NBA All-Star Game MVP. Now, the winner of the MVP award is called the Kobe Bryant All-Star MVP Award winner. And there's been a lot of talk about numerology in the mainstream, especially since the death of Kobe Bryant and all the seemingly supernatural things that have occurred. One of the best examples of this was a story from the other week, actually this past weekend, where Tiger Woods hit a 24-foot, 8-inch putt on the first hole at a golf tournament near Calabasas, California, where Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash in late January. Of course, Kobe Bryant wore number 24 and number 8, and in fact, the 8th hole at this tournament was draped in the colors of the Lakers. So even the mainstream is picking up on numerology, but what they failed to tell us about to this point, to this very day, is the simple language of Gematria, the practice or observation of numbers and letters, and the philosophy that every name or phrase also carries with it a significant numeric value. So this year, the All-Star Game changed its rules, and this rule change was also related to Kobe Bryant. Instead of having a normal 12-minute fourth quarter like the regular season basketball games have, they changed it to the Elam ending rule, which is a rule change that adds each team's score after 3 quarters and then gives each team a target score based on the leading team's score. So in this game, the target score was 157 because after 3 quarters, I believe it was Team Giannis had 132 points, was it? Or 133? So in order for the game to end, they would have to score 24 more points than that. Of course, Kobe Bryant wearing number 24. So with a target score of 157, the game ended when Team Lebron came back and scored the 157th point. The man who scored this 157th point, shown in the highlight clip on the left, was Anthony Davis. Check out Anthony Davis's birthday of March 11th, the date written internationally as 11/3. Using the alphabetic order, where each letter is assigned a number 1 through 26 relative to its position in the alphabet, the name Kobe Bryant has a gematria value of 113. Kobe Bryant, of course, died on the date January 26th, along with his daughter Gianna Bryant, whose name sums to 126. Anthony Davis was born in the year 93, meaning that he has full birth numerology of 126. He currently plays for the Pelicans, who play their home games in New Orleans. And with that free throw, his team won the NBA All-Star Game. NBA All-Star Game also 126 in ordinal. Now we talked about Kobe Bryant wearing number 24. Davis's full name is Anthony Marshawn Davis. In the alphabetic order, this sums to 240. In numerology, with the 0 ignored, this is 24. Now, the All-Star Game was held on February 16th, which is exactly 24 days before Anthony Davis's birthday. Davis was on Team LeBron. Now, think about how 24 days is also 3 weeks and 3 days. Well, Team LeBron scored 124 points after 3 quarters, and then they had to score 33 points in the fourth quarter to win the game. Davis scoring that 33rd point. This also a tribute to Kobe. In ordinal, Kobe sums to 33. Meanwhile, LeBron James, who was the captain of the team that won the All-Star game, was exactly 1,833 weeks old. Not only does the name LeBron sum to 33 in the reverse alphabetic order, so does James with the rules of numerology. Of course, you have to get a kick out of the box score. Notice how 3 different times in the first quarter and both teams in the third quarter scoring 41 points. 3 times this number popped up in the box score. In reduction, where each double-digit number is reduced to a single digit, the name Kobe Bryant sums to 41. And of course, he died at the age of 41, a span of 157 days after his birthday. In the reverse alphabetic order, Kobe Bryant sums to 157, this being the cipher where Z equals 1, all the way through A as 26. Team LeBron winning the game with a perfect 157 points. Now, if you tally up the number of points in the game between both teams, 157 plus 155, this is 312. And how interesting is the fact that the phrase All-Star sums to 312, 312 points in the All-Star game, but Chicago, where this year's All-Star game was played, has the 312 area code assigned to it. Of course, this being the original area code of Chicago, there are more now, but 312 is still the original, still the dominant one in that area. By the way, this was the 69th All-Star game. The name Kobe Bryant in Jewish Gematria summing to 690. Now this cipher here, based in Latin Gematria, it's the cipher I consider to be most important outside of the base 4. One I teach in every video, and of course this produces much, much larger numbers. And we'll take a peek at this cipher again, but what I want to do is look at the MVP award winner, being the first ever Kobe Bryant MVP award winner at the All-Star game. Now I opened up this video mentioning how Kobe Bryant equals 113 in Gematria. Well, 113 is what we call a prime number. Prime numbers are very significant in numerology. Primes are numbers that are only divisible by 1 and itself. Now, 113 is the 30th prime number. This appropriate in light of the fact that Kawhi Leonard scored a game-leading 30 points in the All-Star game. Back in June, I did a post on Kawhi Leonard winning the NBA Finals MVP for his team, the Toronto Raptors. And I mentioned how the date of the NBA Finals wrapping up, Game 5, this had 58 numerology, 6 plus 13 plus 20 plus 19, and the name Kawhi Leonard sums to 58 in reduction. This year's All-Star game was also held on a date with 58 numerology, matching Kawhi Leonard. In the reverse reduction method, the name Kobe Bryant sums to 58. Kobe wore 2 different numbers during his career, the numbers 24 along with the number 8. I do find it interesting that the phrase human sacrifice gives us a 248 in the reverse alphabetic order. And in regards to the 67, this is the Jewish gematria of Kobe. And the date on which he died, 1/26 of this year, had primary numerology of 67. But again, looking at the 248, a cipher I've been kind of looking at lately, one that's not even on the calculator. I paused there. I just found this really interesting, 130 and 31, like a 1331 or almost. But what I find interesting about this cipher, and I've been looking at it a lot now. I don't find stuff that's interesting in it all the time, but once in a while, the fact that Kobe Bryant summoning to 248 in this cipher is pretty interesting. This cipher, by the way, it's similar to the alphabetic order, but notice how the numbers are reversed once we get to double digits. So instead of 12, you get 21. Instead of 13, you get 31, and so on. And the name Kobe Bryant summons to 248 here in this method. But if you measure from the date that Kawhi Leonard won the NBA Finals MVP award to the date that he won the All-Star Game MVP, it was 248 days. Of course, I mentioned this story about Tiger Woods hitting the 24-foot, 8-inch putt. Worth pointing out that the name Tiger Woods gives us gematria of 135 and 54 in both ordinal and reduction methods. The name Kobe Bean Bryant sums to 54 and 135 in ordinal and reduction. Now, Kawhi Leonard was born on June 29th, which means that this All-Star Game MVP award was 135 days before his birthday. In the lead up to the Super Bowl, after Kobe Bryant died, I did a lot of work talking about how Kobe Bryant's numerology is so closely intertwined with the moon and the number 666. Remember, it was his 666th career game in which he scored 81 points, the second most in NBA history. In Jewish gematria, the moon has a value of 283. And the reason I point this out is because the number 283 has a prime number relationship with 1847. 1847, the 283rd prime number. Kawhi Leonard's full name sums to 1847 in English extended gematria, but that's not the only interesting thing about this. In the alphabetic order, his name sums to 218. This is the Hebrew value of the word moon. In the reverse alphabetic order, All-Star Game MVP equals 218. Also notice the 52 in reduction. This is the ordinal value of Kawhi. In fact, All-Star itself equals 52. And now we're going to get into my conspiracy theory of the day. Call me crazy, but not only does All-Star equal 52, but Smash Mouth equals 52. Remember Smash Mouth had this hit song called All-Star. And is it possible that that song is somehow related to Kobe Bryant, who, this is the first time an All-Star Game award has been named after a player, maybe outside of hockey. I know hockey names a lot of their awards after players, so I could be wrong, but it's interesting, right? Released on May 4th, 5-4. Kobe Bean Bryant gives us that 54. And what about the name Smash Mouth? 67 in Jewish gematria, just like Kobe, 67. As far as Kobe summing to 33 in ordinal, the 33rd prime is 137, and Smash Mouth equals 137 in that same cipher. And then you type out Smash Mouth All-Star, and you get 220, like how the first Kobe Bryant MVP award in 2020 on a date with 58 numerology. Maybe this is all coincidental, right? It could be. Makes you wonder, though. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thanks to everybody for popping in. Peace, love, God bless, and we will talk to you next time. See ya.